You built your product, you launched your business, you saw success, money in the bank, a growing team, happy client. But now you feel like you're drowning. I'm here to help you get your head above water. I'm Lauren Goldstein. My clients call me the Business Doctor. Together, we'll diagnose the root cause of your business worries, whether it's your people, your process, or your product. We'll clarify your business needs so you can scale without the burnout. And then we will simplify it all so your business can do what it's designed to do, make a profit and an impact. Welcome to the Biz Doctor podcast. Welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to dive into one of my absolute favorite subjects, the most common reason why you and your first hire struggle so much in the beginning. If you've ever asked yourself, is my team slowing my growth? Have I hired the wrong people? Or why can't they just anticipate what I need and do their job? Then this episode is for you. Let's dig into team dynamics and diagnose if you're running a lopsided three-legged race in your business. So this is one of my favorite subjects because I see lopsided teams happen more often than not. So what I mean by a lopsided team is I see a lot of business owners in the first few people that they hire, even sometimes up to 10 people, wanting to clone themselves because you need someone to help and take tasks off your plate and grow the business. But since you know yourself best, you subconsciously call in yourself or people that are very similar to you because they're familiar, because you can talk to them, because it feels like home. But in reality, that is definitely not the place to go. One of my favorite clients, I remember when I came in, and they presented with really interesting symptoms when they came and hired me. You know, they said sales were down and they couldn't figure out why they couldn't support more clients and growth had stalled. And it was a lot of what they had said were front end problems, so customer facing problems. But when I got in and actually diagnosed what was happening in the business, the most interesting trend appeared. It turned out that the CEO, her partner, and 13 out of 14 employees were the exact same profile. The profile I'm referring to is we use Wealth Dynamics with our clients. It's an amazing tool that helps you really understand what your unique CEO profile is, how you flow best through your team, your business, your life, and what that actually translates to having a team around you that supports you. Because every CEO has different strengths and weaknesses, which we know. But the thing that most people don't build teams on is around the CEO to make sure that the strengths of your team are in fact matching the weaknesses that you have. So in this case with this client, she had managed to hire herself 13 out of 14 times. And God bless her, she was not at all in the strengths of the things that the business needed. What her strengths and the 13 out of 14 people on her team, their strengths were details, systems, everything on the back end of the business. Now, this makes perfect sense because her challenge was customer service, delivery, sales, marketing, all the things that were not her strength. And so she kept hiring people thinking that this body was going to fix it. But in reality, what was happening is she was just cloning herself and it was not working, not even a little bit. If you're thinking to yourself, my God, that sounds like my business. If you're not alone. But what this actually looks like and the kind of symptoms it presents in a business is inefficiencies, bottlenecks of the business owner, struggle, frustration, resentment, because everybody's trying to figure out why it's not working. But since you're so similar, you don't have a different perspective. It's kind of like the analogy that I like to use with this is if you're stuck in traffic behind a semi And you're like, okay, I can't see what's in front of me. Should I get off the exit here? Okay, also, let's just consider for a moment that Google Maps does not exist. You have no technology. You're just sitting behind a semi. You're thinking to yourself, should I get off at this exit? Should I stick it out? Should I move over in a lane? And you can't tell. And so you're trying to make decisions when you're blind. Versus when I come in, I can pull you out of traffic in a helicopter and show you that actually it's just an accident in the left lane. It'll be cleared in 5 minutes, or the bridge is out, or any number of things. But when you have a lopsided team, you don't have the benefit of working with somebody that can take your blind spots and shed light on them. A lot of times this comes to me, my business owners come to me for help because they see the symptoms in the business as a whole, whether it's revenue, whether it's attrition, whether it's, dropped balls, only to realize that it's really, truly a very simple problem. It's a team problem. Another client recently, I came in and they've been tapping up against a multi-million-dollar ceiling and they can't quite figure out why it's not working. And so I, again, came in diagnosed, and the same thing. This business owner had very, very smartly, in his mind, recruited himself as his number 2. And then his number 3 was very, very close, like just a slight difference in profile. And again, when you have that lopsided team, you're actually creating this 3-legged race where everybody's tied to each other. What a healthy, balanced team looks like is efficient, fun, profitable, time freedom for the business owner, aka you. So you can elevate yourself out of the trenches and back into vision, which I like to say is out of operator into owner. And so if you find yourself really asking, why is it not working? Why is my business not working? There are a lot of reasons, but most often what I find is it's a team problem. Like, you don't have a time problem, you have a team problem. And the best way to figure out that team problem, in my opinion, is to take a step back. We use a tool called Wealth Dynamics, which I've mentioned. And then we also use its sister tool, Team Dynamics, so we can actually see who on the team is where. And then we have a really great resource that I created for my COO clients and my C-suite clients that is called a scorecard. And something that I really see a lot of business owners make a mistake in is hiring for technology or tools or tasks rather than innate ways of being. If you think about that, the reason a lopsided team is generally created is because you're hiring to take tasks off your plate and do things like that. And I hear a lot of times, I wish I could just clone myself, right? But if you think about the best thing for your business, it's looking at what you don't like doing, what gets you out of flow, what frustrates you, and finding somebody that truly loves it. And those are the innate talents I'm talking about. I'll give you a great example. In my other business, we had, unfortunately, our accountant had passed away from cancer very unexpectedly. And so we were not prepared. So I put on that hat for a little while we found somebody. And I hate accounting. There is actually nothing probably on this planet that I hate more than number crunching and like balancing accounts and doing all the things that come with accounting, including accounts receivable, accounts payable. It's just not my happy place. Fast forward, I hired Bethany. And I kid you not, she loves this stuff. It's like crack to her. She gets so excited when she gets a bill collected or when she's like an account balance. It's like catnip to her. And I don't get it because I'm not made like that, but she's made like that. So we went from having a really big gap in our team to having the perfect person to fill that role, because it's not about the technology that she's using. It's not about our accounting software. It's not about any of that. It's about, does she have the innate talents and innate ways of being to succeed in that role, as well as the expertise. Obviously, I'm not going to hire somebody from McDonald's that's flipping burgers to do our accounts. So they have to have a little level of experience. But the experience aside, Do they have what it takes to actually love what they're doing and do it well? My advice to you is if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, why can't my team just read my mind and do what I need them to do? Chances are it's because you've got some clarification that needs to happen, both with your team as it sits now, as well as what the role is. To make a long story short, the resource that I created is a scorecard. And it basically walks you through the most important parts of a role. Like, what are the expectations? What are the accountabilities? What are the threats? I'll put the scorecard in the show notes, so don't worry about taking notes on this. But essentially what it does is it gives you that 30,000-foot view on the role so that you can proactively hire. Because a lot of times a lopsided team comes to be because you're reactively hiring because you think you need somebody to do something. But in reality, again, to go back to the helicopter, if you can take a step back and really think about why you're hiring and who you're hiring and what that's going to do for your business, which is all in the scorecard, then you have a higher chance of creating a really well-rounded team. And here's why this is so impactful and so fun and important for you. When you have a high-performing team like this, you can have a lean team, which means you can make a really big impact without having a really big overhead. You know, I've seen teams of 5 people make multiple millions of dollars because it's the right team. Because here's the thing, you can hire and hire and hire and hire. And if it's the wrong people, the wrong butts in the wrong seats, or it's not the positions you really need, then you're going to be creating a lot of stress for your business and not necessarily a lot of progress. Now, in case you didn't pick this up, one of the most important team members is you, the business owner. In the next episode, I'm going to go deeper on what that means and how to know if the founder is the right person to truly lead the team to success and impact. Because here's a spoiler alert. We all started our business for a different reason, and sometimes being the leader of the business is not the best next step for us, and that's okay. Now, you heard me mention a few times your unique CEO profile. If that made your ears perk up and you're wondering what your unique CEO profile is or what your team makeup is, or if you are hobbling your own business with your profile and your team, I would love to be a resource for you and support you. You can reach out to us at goldenkeypartnership.com and we can get you set up with some tokens so you can take the test for yourself, test your team. We even do a team report so we can show you exactly where the blind spots are within your profile as well as your team to help you really grow and scale. And the best part is it really gives you the clarity and freedom to build the business that's right for you. Instead of you trying to fit around your business is now fitting around you. So you get to have more fun, more freedom, and a high-performing team that can really take your business to the next level. That's it for this week's episode. I'd love to hear from you and your biggest takeaways. Make sure you're following along. Tag me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever you hang out on the interwebs. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope to see you next week. So which part of your business needs love and attention? You might be wondering that. Here are your next steps. Head to goldenkeypartnership.com or the show notes below to schedule your diagnostic deep dive. Thanks for listening to the Biz Doctor podcast. If you love the show, please share it with your colleagues or tag me on social media, especially LinkedIn. And subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts.